In the vast, interconnected web of the modern world, one name appears more frequently than almost any other: William Henry Gates III. For decades, he was simply the Microsoft guy, the billionaire nerd who put a computer on every desk. But in the last decade, something changed. The software mogul became a global architect. Today, he is the most influential private citizen on the planet. But influence often breeds suspicion. To the mainstream, he is a philanthropist. To the skeptics, he is the mastermind of a silent global coup. They call him the Shadow King, a man who isn't just watching the future, but building it in his own image. Let's talk about the paper trail. In March 2020, as the world locked down and the future became uncertain, a patent was filed. WO 2020-060606. The description? Cryptocurrency system using body activity data.
The patent describes a way to use sensors, wearable or implanted, to monitor a person's physical activity, like heart rate or heat, and reward them with digital currency. It sounds like a dystopian video game. But the patent numbers caught the internet's eye. 060606. Is it a sinister mark or a random string of digits? Either way, it planted a seed of doubt. Is Bill Gates building a world where our very bodies are monetized and controlled by a digital leash? Then there are the vaccines. For 20 years, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been the single most powerful force in global health. They have spent billions on immunization. But why? Critics point to Gates' own words about population growth. In a famous TED Talk, he discussed how health improvements could slow population growth. While he meant that healthier families have fewer children, the internet heard something else: depopulation.
Today, he is the primary funder of the World Health Organization. This means a single, unelected billionaire has more power over global health policy than most sovereign nations. Who gave him this mandate? And what is the real price of his generosity? Look down at the earth. Bill Gates is now the largest private owner of American farmland. Over 270,000 acres across 19 states. From the fertile soil of Washington to the plains of Louisiana. Why? Why would a computer genius want so much dirt? Is it a hedge against a coming food crisis? Or is it a way to control the global food supply? As he pushes for synthetic beef and GMO crops, many fear that the man who controlled our software now wants to control our dinner plates. If you control the food, you control the people. And Bill Gates is holding more seeds than anyone else. Finally, look up at the sun. Gates is the primary backer of Scopex,
the stratospheric controlled perturbation experiment. The goal? To spray calcium carbonate dust into the atmosphere to reflect sunlight and cool the planet. It's a process called solar geoengineering. To some, it's a last-ditch effort to save us from a climate catastrophe. To others, it's a terrifying attempt to play God. If he dims the sun, who decides the temperature? Who decides if the rain falls? The power to alter the very atmosphere of the Earth is a power no one person should hold. And yet, here he is, finger on the dimmer switch. But history isn't written in shadows. It's written in binary. To understand the man, we must leave the conspiracies behind and look at the actual life of William Henry Gates. He wasn't born a globalist mastermind. He was born a hyper-competitive, brilliantly focused boy in Seattle. In 1968, his school, Lakeside, was one of the few with a computer terminal. Bill didn't just use it, he lived in it. He and his friend Paul Allen would skip class to write code. They were hackers before the word was even common. By the time he reached Harvard, he was bored. He didn't want a degree, he wanted a revolution. In 1975, they founded Microsoft. It was a brutal, high-stakes climb to the top. Gates wasn't the kind, sweater-wearing grandfather we see today. He was a shark, a predator in the boardroom. He famously bought QDOS for $50,000, rebranded it as MS-DOS, and sold it to IBM,
all while retaining the right to sell it to other companies. It was the smartest business move in history. He didn't just win, he made sure his competitors lost. By the 1990s, Microsoft Windows was the air that every computer breathed. Bill Gates was the richest man on Earth, and he was the most feared man in Silicon Valley. The empire eventually faced its judgment. In 1998, the United States government sued Microsoft for antitrust violations. They argued Gates used his monopoly to crush innovation. The trial was a PR disaster. Gates appeared in video depositions as arrogant, evasive, and condescending. He was the great Satan of the tech world. But this period of intense scrutiny changed him. Or perhaps it changed his strategy. In 2000, he stepped down as CEO and turned his focus toward the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The man who had spent his life accumulating wealth began a new mission, giving it all away. The numbers are staggering and, quite frankly, hard to argue with. The foundation has spent over $50 billion. They have nearly wiped polio off the face of the earth. They have reduced malaria deaths by over 50%. They have provided clean water and sanitation to millions. Gates approaches charity the same way he approached software, with cold, hard data. He doesn't give based on emotion. He gives based on cost per life saved. For Bill, the world is a giant optimization problem. Whether it's a bug in a line of code or a virus in a human body, he believes it can be fixed with enough resources and the right logic. Today, Gates is a man of profound contradictions. He is a billionaire who advocates for higher taxes on the wealthy. He's a tech titan who spends his time worrying about fertilizer and toilets. He is the focus of 1,000 conspiracy theories. Yet he continues to walk onto global stages to warn us about the next pandemic. Is he the man in the dark room or the man in the library? Perhaps he is simply a man who believes that the world's hardest problems are just complex puzzles waiting to be solved. Whether he's a hero or a villain depends on whether you trust the logic of the machine or the chaos of the human heart. One thing is certain, our world is the one Bill Gates helped build, and we're all just living in it. This has been the 10-Minute Truth. Subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of those who shape our world. The story of Bill Gates is a reminder that in the age of information, the truth is rarely as simple as a headline. Whether you see a visionary or a villain, his influence is undeniable. From the code that runs your computer to the medicine that protects your health, his fingerprints are everywhere. Thank you for watching.